Hi guys, welcome to Ask Raghulan. So today we're going to see one of my favorite gadget, which is like a laptop, which I dreamt of getting it for a long time. I had a previous version of the same laptop, and this is actually the last version they came out. And for now, this laptop is not in production. They actually stopped the whole series of this particular models, and this is actually the Sony's most expensive laptop. So this is the Sony Z series laptop. So why this is so expensive? This is because it is actually an ultra thin laptop. At the same time, it's not a netbook. It is actually a really powerful laptop. And this laptop is actually aimed at two different segments of users. One is a business users, and another one is actually 3D gamers and the game developers and CAD designers and a lot of these people. So how is it the small tiny laptop is able to punch that sort of power? So first thing is, this laptop is actually 2012 model. That's like a pretty long way from here. And that is the time with this laptop came with an Intel Ivy Bridge processor, and then it came with 8GB RAM and then a 256 SSD. On top of it, it actually comes with an Intel graphic card, inbuilt graphic card. And with that, how is it able to power all those heavy applications? The trick is actually with the gadgets that Sony gives us. So Sony gives actually a whole bunch of new gadgets along with this laptop, which makes this laptop as a super powerful one. Let's look at those ones shortly. But before that, so why did I get this laptop and what is so special about this one? So first thing is, the material that you look on top of it is not actually plastic. If you look closely, this is actually carbon fiber. And if you look at some of the specifications and the looks and feel of this laptop, you're going to simply love it. So we will go that into detail in the coming few minutes. But before that, stay tuned, and if you like my channel, if you like my videos, subscribe to it.
Hey guys, so now let's get into this laptop now. So we're gonna see a few sections here. So one is the exterior of it and the build quality, and then the internals of it, let's say what sort of hardware it has and the specification of it, and some of the usage pros and cons, issues that I faced, and things I like and things I don't like about it. So we go through all of these ones. So first of all, if you see, like, this is all the things that comes in the package. So you will get the laptop, the docking station, the stand, and then the extra battery, which is not part of the package, but Sony gave it as a compliment. So there is actually adapters that actually comes for this laptop. There is two of them, one for just for the laptop if you just carry just the laptop around, another one is there's powering the docking station, and the second second adapter that comes with is actually the docking station, which powers the laptop as well. So the docking station basically comes with a certain configuration, which is like it has got an additional graphic card. It's an AMD Radeon HD6650M, and then it has got an HDMI, and then it also has an Ethernet and 3 USB ports, and also it has got a Blu-ray and DVD drive. So it's actually pretty good with what it has, because most of the laptops doesn't come with all of these stuff. Even these days, it's not going to come with all these fancy gadgets and stuff. So now if you see USB, HDMI, Ethernet port, and then on the top you get another extra USB as well. And so this docking station has got a graphic card, so it needs to emit out some of the heat as well. So make sure that you don't actually put it under the shelf or someplace which is pretty little airy. And then if you look at the laptop, the ports on both of the sides of the laptop, on the right side we have the audio jack, and then the Ethernet network card that you can plug it in, and then you have the HDMI. It's a full HDMI port, and then you have two USBs, and one of them is USB 3.0, and then we have the power port. So this is basically if you plug in your docking station, it occupies both of these, the power and the last USB. The USB is for just sending through the data and stuff like that, and the power is basically powering the laptop from the docking station. And so you will lose one USB in that case when you connect the docking station, but the docking station comes with an additional 3 USB ports, so it compensates that. And the coolest thing is when you plug in the docking station, it just goes seamlessly. And then on the back you see it's actually a nice finish with sort of like a titanium finish. And then when you open the lid, the back of the laptop has got a small raise, and then we got VGA port, and then in the front we have two slots. One is for the Magic 8 DO drive, which is the Sony's version of sort of like an SD card, and then there is an SD card slot, and then we have three lights in here. So one is for the power, and then the CPU, and then for the wireless. And then under the laptop we have the battery, which you can remove it with just a nail or coin, and then the heat sinks for the fan, which is like say a bit louder compared to most of the other laptops which I've used. I would say like it is annoyingly loud. And with the batteries, let's say removing the battery is a lot easier as well. Only thing is you may not really need necessary for it to be removed, because I've been using this for several years now, and the battery still seems to be great, and I have no reason for it to be changed or removed. So this is the extra battery that you can plug it in as well, which gives you another additional 5 hours of battery backup. And the docking station which comes with the battery, you can actually charge the battery as a separate unit altogether, and so you don't have to connect it to the laptop to be powered up. So now when you connect the battery to the laptop, generally the size of the laptop grows a bit higher, but it's not going to be that of a major issue. If you look at the total size of the laptop, is already still slim, and so it wouldn't really be a bigger trouble of it. And if you look at the styling and finish of this laptop, is top of the class. It's a proper luxury product, so it's not a standard laptop. If you carry it around, people know that it's actually a nice premium looking product. And the carbon fiber has done a really good look, made it look pretty good at it on top. And there is actually two versions of carbon fiber which comes in. One which actually shows the carbon fiber pattern pretty clearly. Another one is a bit subtle. And then if you look at the interiors of the laptop, this has been, let's say, several years now, probably around at least 8-9 years now, and it still looks sort of new. So by the same time, I have used a MacBook, and it's died out, and there is a couple of XPS it's died out, and a lot of other laptops which it died out, but this one still looks stunning and it works stunning. So, and then if you look at the keyboard and everything like that, it's one of those sort of like a mechanical keyboard which gives a tactile feedback to the user, but it doesn't work as good as the Surface Pro and MacBook Pros or Razer. The main reason is because it's very soft, so it doesn't actually give any feedback to the user's fingers. So that was one of the problems. And but if it was actually giving a bit more feedback to the user, it would have been a fantastic keyboard altogether. And but it's not a noisy one, so you tend to like it once you start using it for a while. And the tracking pad is actually too tiny for this machine, so I would say, because they were also aiming at some of the business users and CAD and design users as well. So from a design perspective, it wasn't that user friendly because it's too small, but it actually comes with a sort of like a click function, the scroll, they all work great. And then the lid of the laptop, it's pretty flexible compared to some of the lids which is the LCDs are pretty brittle. So this is not going to be a brittle one, so you can actually flex it to a certain angle as well. So Sony has given some sort of a specification on how much you can flex it as well. So it's actually a flexible one. So Sony has been doing this for several long years ago. And so this monitor actually comes with a 1920 to 1080, that's like 1080p display. So it's actually pretty high res for the time it was released, and even today the colors look so vibrant and fantastic. And the other thing is the laptop doesn't get too hot or anything like that, because the docking station does take away most of the heavy lifting. So the laptop itself doesn't get too hot and stuff. Only thing is the fan sound annoys you too much. Once it's getting hotter, it tends to run with the highest RPM. And the other thing is, like, this laptop is sort of like doesn't get scratched or anything like that very often, just because of the external interior materials they have used. Because I have used it quite extensively, like say plenty of traveling, it has traveled with me for plenty of places, and most of the time I wouldn't even put into a proper case, and then it was on the shelf dusting out, and then things were thrown on top of it, and if you can see, like, hardly any scratches on it. And then there are some special buttons that comes on the laptop on the header, which is like, one is for turning off the Wi-Fi, and a couple of other Sony VAIO buttons to open the browser and the boot assist and those kind of stuff, which generally helps you with the previous version of Windows where you need to constantly boot it to repair it and do a clean install and any of those stuff. But with the current version, you wouldn't be released. And with the keyboard, one other thing is like some of the keys for the are pretty small. And apart from that, this is a pretty great machine, guys. Generally, if you start using it, you will love it. Well, you know, the trackpad, I would say, like if you're a strong hard trackpad user, just get a mouse and make sure that you keep the mouse along with the laptop. You don't get frustrated much. But if it's a CAD user, a trackpad will be a pain because it just makes the mouse a little jaggier. And I wouldn't recommend this laptop for CAD, but it's really good laptop for anyone who's traveling and for business. Alright guys, catch up in another video. Thank you.